Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our homeowner information session. And we are really grateful that you can join us, even though we had to change formats a little bit. We'll be speaking with you from our homes because of the weather today. I am joined today by Milagros Montijo Flores, who is Habitat Newburgh's Family Services Manager, as well as Eileen Clifford, who is the Executive Director at Pathstone, a partner organization, and we're here today to discuss homeownership. And we really are grateful you're here to join us. And we're going to jump right in. There are many benefits to homeownership, and the reason why we wanted to have this info session today is to spread the word about the benefits of homeownership. Improving affordable homeownership leads to numerous outcomes that extend beyond the house, such as economic stability, access to a quality education, increased civic and social engagement, better health, and a reduced environmental footprint. One of the first and most important aspects of homeownership is financial stability. In terms of both lifestyle and monetary stability, buying a home provides a sense of reliability to first-time homeowners. In some cases, mortgage payments may even be less expensive than rent. Financial strength. If you are a first-time home buyer, purchasing a home can strengthen your financial portfolio and help your money find its way back into your pocket. Monthly mortgage payments steadily accumulate equity, while monthly rent payments to your landlord hold no return. As a homeowner, you may also qualify for tax deductions, which is money back in your tax return. Who doesn't want more money back in their tax return, right? Tax deductions can vary across home improvement expenses, insurance payments, claim on the house, and whether you're a first-time home buyer. Of course, you always want to ask these questions from your qualified tax professional. Permanent residence. Everyone knows that moving from house to house or apartment to apartment is strenuous on the mind and body. It's extremely inconvenient and expensive to haul your belongings from one place to the next. Once you buy your home, it may be the last move you ever make. Even if it's not your forever home, you'll be relieved of the stress of contemplating where to live once your lease is up. Owning your own home also provides a sense of community. A home allows you to make long-lasting relationships with neighbors and other people in your community. Homeownership removes the possibility of a premature move, which could otherwise prevent formation of those close relationships with friends, teachers, and local businesses. Settling down can provide you with a newfound support, bringing more comfort into your life. And one of the main things that our homeowners always tell us they love and enjoy the most about homeownership is when you own your own home, you can decorate any way you want. This picture is actually a homeowner's child's bedroom, and he was very excited when they moved in to decorate it the way she always dreamed of her bedroom being. And it was great for him to send us this photo of his absolutely amazing painting work. Whether it's financial stability or the longing for community, the perks of homeownership can certainly be attractive. And if you're ready to take that step to homeownership, we are ready to help you every step of the way. Next, Milagros will be talking about the Habitat program and how Habitat can help you access first-time homeownership.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. I'm Milagros Montijo Flores. I am the Family Services Manager at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Newburgh. Today, we're going to talk about homeownership and how we can help you in reaching your goal as a person or family who wants to be a homeowner. Do you have the presentation, Amy? Yeah, okay. So one of the things I did want to ask you, many people that I come across, I talk to them about why they want to be a homeowner. One of the things that most people say is, I want to be a homeowner because I'm tired of paying rent. And I'm tired of having a landlord that doesn't fix anything. Many times, if you're in that position and you want a decent, affordable home, and you've even gone and tried to get a pre-approval or a mortgage, and you find that, especially in this market today, that you're not really able to get a decent, affordable home for a decent price. So in this case, we can assist you there. We at Habitat do affordable homeownership, and I'm on the third slide. And part of doing the affordable homeownership is we can help you get a decent, affordable home at a decent, affordable price. Go on to the next one, Amy, and the next one. Okay, so next. All right, so as part of that, you can pay a monthly payment that's affordable to you. Also, how else we can help? Well, along with participating in the Papstone Homebuyer Education Program, which is mandatory for our program, you also get other homebuyer education classes that help the person become a better and more prepared homeowner. We help every step of the way, from the moment the person applies, once they get accepted into the program, through the closing process, and sometimes beyond that. And not only is it the office staff that helps, but we also have volunteers, dedicated volunteers that work with our families to help them every step of the way. We're not going to give you a mansion now. We're not going to sell you a mansion, but we can help you get a safe, affordable home that you can call your own. And as Amy said, you can decorate any way you want. Next. So who's eligible? We do work with the HUD income guidelines based on the area median income and the size of the family. On average, it varies by the family size. So for example, a household of 4, the minimum income that we look for is 30%, with the maximum income being at 80%. So if you are looking and you say, okay, I am a family of 4, the minimum income that you should earn annually would be $50,250, with a maximum of $79,900. We do work with the families so that they get an affordable home at 30% of what their annual income is, based on household income. Next thing.
I just want to add right at this point, if you were to go to our website, which is habitatnewburgh.org, and click on the Own a Home tab, you will see that HUD income guideline chart, and you can see where you stand as far as income eligibility.
Yes. Absolutely, Amy, and thank you for reminding me on that. So who is eligible? We do look at three main criteria. The first criteria is the need for housing. So what we do is we look at your present situation. We do a call and we meet with you at your home to see if there are any issues or problems that are affecting you in your home presently. The first and main criteria is the ability to pay. We do look at your ability to pay. That would include income, debt, credit, and credit history. And as our partner organization and friend who is here, Eileen Clifford, will tell you, we work together on that to see if the family qualifies for a mortgage, because in the end, the applicant will be going to a bank for a mortgage, so we have to make sure that they are ready. We also look at the applicant's willingness to partner with Habitat. That begins at application process and it goes through to home ownership. There are some eligibility requirements that are needed. Some of those include you must be living within our service area. Our service area is all of Orange County. You must be willing to take on a 30-year affordable mortgage. You must be willing to perform a certain amount of hours. Sorry about my cat, but he's in the way. The hours for a family of one adult is 250 hours. For a family of two adults or more, it is 500 hours. You must be willing to make a deposit of $1,500 towards closing costs and down payment. Presently, we are only building in the city of Newburgh. If you're interested and you're looking to buy a house and, as I said before, you're tired of paying a landlord, you're not getting any return on that, feel free to contact us. Next, Amy. How is it possible? Well, it is possible as simple as it is part of our mission statement. We are seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat for Humanity brings people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And if you've been around, if you've driven around Newburgh or visited Newburgh, you will see that in many places where you see our signs that say Habitat Homes, you will see that there are usually more than one home being either rehabbed or built, so that we try to keep to our mission statement of bringing people, homes, and communities together. Sorry about that. Next. All right. Housing matters in Newburgh, especially. In Newburgh, we have 65% of our household paying above what they can afford. More than 30% of their maximum income is what people are paying for rent right now. It really hurts to see that. So Habitat is here to help. Amy, next one. Habitat for Humanity was started in 1999 and covers the greater Newburgh area. In that time, from 1999 to present, we've completed about 101 homes in our community. Amy, you can verify that or tell me if I'm a little bit low on that. I think
we are up to 102.
Okay, so I missed it
Very
by
recent.
one.
Recently sold one more.
Right. Next one, please. All right, so how can you get involved? There are many different ways that you can get involved. While we are talking about homeownership, if you are interested in that, definitely, see me, call me, get online, like Amy said, and the application is online. But you can be an ambassador for Habitat. Anybody you meet that send them our way. If you're interested in volunteering, definitely you can have them go on our volunteer website, and they can see all the different ways that they can volunteer. We'll also hire what we call AmeriCorps Vista, which are young people who may not really know where they want to go. They're out of high school, going to college, and are looking, to do something hands-on. By all means, send them to our volunteer coordinator, or you can sign up to volunteer in our committees as well as on our construction sites. We just had a week of women's build where we have women strong and healthy, working on our construction sites. But we can use all kinds of volunteers to help us build our homes for our families and in our community. Next thing. So if you are interested in applying, you can download the application at www.habitatnewburgh.org, own a home, or you can call me at 845-568-6035, extension 111. Y como han visto, esta presentación está en inglés, pero también yo hablo español y puedo ayudarles a las familias en completar las aplicaciones. Y si tienen alguna pregunta, con mucho gusto se la contesto. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much for all that wonderful information, Millie. At this time, we do have a really fun video that we'd like to share. It just shows you a day in the life of Habitat Newburgh and gives you a glimpse inside our organization and what we're up to every day.
Having a problem with the voice.
So my apologies for those that couldn't hear the video. It is available online. It is also available. It's also available on our YouTube and Facebook channels if you couldn't hear that video. And the video's name is called Together We Build. So you can watch that at your leisure. And again, my sincere apologies for those folks that couldn't hear the audio there. We also are going to chat a little bit with Eileen Clifford from Pathstone, and she can give you some more information about the services they offer.
Thank you so much, Amy and Milagros, for having me. I really appreciate it. I am Eileen Clifford, and I am from Pathstone Corporation, and our office is in Newburgh on Chambers Street, so we're right around the corner from Habitat. And I love seeing the video. It brings back memories. I've done some volunteering for Habitat, and that's some of my greatest time spent in the city of Newburgh, getting to meet the families, the volunteers, the sponsors. Pathstone has sponsored a few events and had dinners for all the volunteers, and it's a great opportunity again to meet people. So even though I couldn't hear the video, it kind of spoke for itself. Pathstone is a nonprofit organization that's been around for a little over 52 years. We've been doing homeownership in the Mid-Hudson region since 1998. I was actually the person that started the homeownership program in the region, and I'm still here all these years later. And we're proud, honored to work with Habitat. Pathstone is a HUD certified counseling agency. So what we do is we're going to help walk you through the process. So I'm not going to, I ditto everything that Millie and Amy presented in the video. We feel the same exact way at Pathstone. We want to see you get into an affordable house. So I'm just going to walk you through some of the steps. So when you're applying to Habitat will also provide you with a Pathstone intake packet that they will either assist you to complete or that you will complete and get over to our office. What I will do, or our office will do, we will review your income, we will pull your credit, we will discuss your savings, and we will determine your affordability. We'll also have that conversation with Habitat. And then they will determine whether or not you're ready to move forward with the next process, which would be to take homebuyer education and counseling, as Millie had previously stated. So if you're not ready, that's okay too, because we're going to work with you to get you ready. So we'll talk about the income, where you need to be. We'll talk about the credit or the debt, where you need to be. Again, we're not going to turn anybody away. We want to see you get into your home if that is something that you truly want to do. We'll be there to hold your hand basically through every step of the way. So if you're taking the classes, we will register you and we'll let you know, and we'll try to best meet your needs. Right now, all of our classes are still being done via Zoom. So we can work with that. We've worked with Millie, getting folks that were not familiar with how to do Zoom. If not, we do hope to have a few maybe smaller classes of folks in the future. We just have to limit the number of people that we can have in our room. Once you're ready, then you will complete your sweat equity hours, as Millie had stated, whatever you need to do. Then you will close on your loan. So it's pretty simple, but as Millie stated, there's going to be a lender involved. So whether it be a bank or a credit union, you have to meet their requirements. So while you might meet Habitat's requirements, Pathstone really doesn't have any requirements that you have to meet, except we want it to be affordable to you. However, there may be some grants and assistance that you can get in addition to what you're going to be receiving from Habitat. And that's where we come in as well, because these homes are costly. Habitat has volunteers. They have to pay for some of their services, and there are a lot of costs that they are paying on your behalf because you're doing the sweat equity hours. So what happens is, if all that money goes into your home, then we have to pay it forward. So there's going to be the next home buyer and the home buyer after that. So they want to keep costs as low as possible without sacrificing on the good quality work of the house. So with that, that is my program with Habitat. We are a regional program as well. So we cover Orange, Ulster, Dutchess, and Sullivan. But for today's purposes, we're primarily talking about the homes in the city of Newburgh that Habitat is doing. And with the rising rent costs, and even with the prices of homes going up, another great opportunity for you to take advantage of something that is going to be affordable to you when you purchase it now, rather than waiting, because we don't know what the future holds. And we've all seen how prices are going up all over. So again, thank you, Amy, and thank you very much, Millie. And I see Corey's nice picture is on the screen too. So nice to see you as well, Corey. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Eileen, for that information. So as you have heard, the Habitat program really is here to make sure that you can be a successful homeowner. And we do that in partnership with folks like Eileen. And Eileen did mention that we do, that folks have to go out and get a mortgage at a lending institution, and that is absolutely correct. Folks choose their own lending institution and they go and out and get a mortgage. We assist with that process, but they do go out into the community and get a mortgage at either a bank or a community credit union. Lost my words there.
I knew what you were thinking.
I see some comments in the box. One of the comments was about mortgage furloughs. And so that is a really interesting question. And that recently came up because of the pandemic. So because our homeowners are have their mortgages are held by banks and credit unions, we can't give specific information about mortgage furloughs because each bank and each lending institution would have their own rules. So you would be complying with the rules at your lending institution where who holds your mortgage. So we couldn't generalize and talk about that subject today. Milagros, we have a question here asking if someone's not legally married, are they still allowed to be on the application in the program?
Yes, we've had applicants that are father and daughter, father and son, mom and son. We've had fiancés. So no, not necessarily do you have to be married. You know, you do want to think about, you know, it's just the person you want to live with for 30 years, but other than that, no, we don't have any restrictions.
I also see that we have a comment about a credit check. And I think Eileen could and said, oh no, I'm not sure if I'm ready. So I think Eileen could speak on that. And she did mention that we're here to help you get ready as well. And that's part of why we have partnered with Eileen and Pathstone. So I think she can speak a little bit on that.
Sure. So we do pull what's called a tri-merged in file. It's a same credit report that a lender would pull. It's not going to hurt your score. It's a soft pull. We look at your scores. Scores go from 350 points to 850 points. So the lower your score, the poorer your credit. But we're not only looking at your score, we're looking at what's in there, who you owe, what you owe, how long you've had your credit, if there's anything that maybe might be some mistakes on there. So there could be some errors. And again, don't be so, worried about getting your credit pulled. That's just the foundation. That's just the first step. So again, everyone's credit is going to be different. We just want to make sure that when it's time for you to go to your lender, that you're going to meet their minimum requirements. So most lenders want to see a middle credit score of 640 or above. Again, that doesn't mean if you have a 639 or even a 600 that you're not going to get a house. It just makes it a little bit more challenging. So again, we will pull your credit. There's no fee for it. And it's really a good opportunity to see where you're at. And a lot of people, first thing they say is, oh, Credit Karma says this, or I have this app that gives me a score. That's fine, but it's not what we're looking for, and it's not what the lender is looking for. So hopefully that answered that person's question.
Thank you very much, Eileen. Yeah, so part of the process is credit counseling, and the counseling that you receive can help you figure out what you need to do, your particular circumstances, what you need to do to get mortgage ready. And we can't stress enough that sometimes folks are not ready for the Habitat program, but we don't just say, nope, sorry. There are services available to get you ready, and we really want folks to know that. I see that we have been joined by Corey Allen, who is Habitat Newburgh's Neighborhood Revitalization Coordinator, and he has been out distributing flyers and spreading the word about this program today. And I'm wondering if he has anything to add to our program today. Corey Allen.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the background noise. Yeah. I've been on Facebook for a long time. I was writing someone, they asked me, they said, is it safe to say the information session for Habitat is postponed due to inclement weather? I'm writing her no, because we're online, but I'm glad I got a chance to get on here, because now I'm officially a qualified loan officer, because I finished all my certifications last night. But anyway, I'm glad we're having this information session. I implore everyone out there, if you don't want to be in a situation where you're renting for 5 to 10 years or 15 to 20 years and you walk away from it with nothing to show for it, I implore you to get in our program, become your own landlord. So many times when I go out in the streets, I hear people complain about, or not even complain, they're telling the truth about the increased cost of living around here in Newburgh, how the cost of all the utilities have gone up and the water's going up, and the rents are going to eventually go up because of, the increase in taxes and fees and utilities. So it's best to become your own landlord so you can control your own finance in-house. And that's all I gotta say.
Thank you for that. You speak the truth, Corey. With the rising rents, homeowners or something, people come into the program, they're sometimes floored by the fact that if they go out and buy their own home, that sometimes the rent's cheaper. I mean, the mortgage for your own house is cheaper than the rent you were paying, especially if you have a larger family and you have to pay rents for anything over a 2-bedroom. I know that the cost in this area has just skyrocketed over the last couple of years, even during the pandemic. I do have some other questions that I see in the chat. And someone asks about, how does a Section 8 voucher work? And I will have to say that you are best to talk to Eileen about that, because she is familiar with that program, and she is familiar with the program that they have that is Section 8 to home ownership. So she is familiar with that, and I recommend that you contact her directly, and we will put Eileen's contact and Pathstone's contact information in the chat, so that you can reach out to her and get more information about that. But Eileen, do you have anything that you can say in general, not just specific to someone's exact?
So depending upon which office you have your voucher from, you want to talk a specific person in that office. So for example, Orange County, you would need to speak to the person at the Middletown office. His name is Gunnar DeYoung. But it is a great program, and what Section 8 to home ownership does, it's like your rental right now. It pays part of your mortgage payment for up to 15 years. So as long as you remain eligible, you can go through the Section 8 to home ownership program. You can buy your house through Habitat, and each month Pathstone will pay 70% of your mortgage, and you will pay the other 30%. So it's a great program, and I'm going to put my contact information in the chat, along with myself and our new housing counselor, Madeline Penna, to reach us at our office. But it's a great program, and we highly recommend anybody who's on Section 8 to take advantage of it.
Eileen, I think I already put your
Oh, you did?
email
Thank you.
and
Oh, I
the
see.
phone number.
Wow,
But
you're fast.
you can put your assistant's information in there as well. I didn't have hers.
Sure. Yes, and my extension is actually 112, but that's okay. I'll put Madeline's information, but thank you. Amy, you're muted.
Yeah, I see some requests for emailed applications, which we can absolutely do. You can also simply click on Messenger to us and say, can I please have an application? We can also send it right through that Facebook Messenger there. We can send you the brochure and the application. We have all our literature is both in English and in Spanish. So if you would like the application in Spanish, please just ask for that, because it is completely in Spanish, and our literature lists both languages on the same in the same document. So let's just check the chat some more and see if we've got any more questions. I see a question. Are the homes only built in Newburgh? Currently, Habitat Newburgh is only building homes in Newburgh. So if you were to come into the program, you would be matched with a house in Newburgh. We, unfortunately, right now, we are not building outside the city of Newburgh. So you do have to be willing to purchase a home here. If you, the way our purchasing of a home works is that our home buyers do not select their house. So our homes are matched by the size of the family and the available house that we have to meet the needs of that family. So if we have a family of 5 that have 3 children and 2 parents, then we would try to match them with a home that fits that family. And it is also always on what house we are building now that meets that. So we unfortunately are not able to, take requests for a specific area, or our houses are built with the best quality materials that up to code and everything like that. They're not, we don't skimp on our building materials or anything like that. And when you're in the program, you also are taking part in the construction of the houses of both your house and the houses of your neighbors. So you are able to see exactly what the quality of work is that goes into the houses. I'm going to check the chat a little bit more. Oh, really great question. How long does the program take? Milagros, you can answer that one for us.
Absolutely. So from application process, the application should take anywhere between six to 8 weeks, maybe 12, depending, because we have the application, we review it, and then we send you to Pathstone. If a family is accepted into the program takes about a year to 18 months to complete. We do have the requirements that need to be met, which would be the hours, along with the deposit. Once the family has reached half of their hours and have paid half of the deposit, They're usually somewhere between 9 and 10 months into the program, and they will find out what home they will be getting. Then within, I'm going to say, another 4 to 5 months, we will begin the home, the lender application process. And by the time they reach anywhere between 14 to 16 months, they're already starting their closing process and will probably be closed. So we look for our families to be done with the program and closed within 18 months, if at all possible. You know, with the pandemic and things that happen, and building materials, sometimes there is a little delay, but other than that, most of the families are done within 18 months.
Thank you. Oh, we have a question here. How many families are matched with a home simultaneously? So we at any given time can have anywhere between 6, and I think the maximum amount of families we had at one time was 15. So we have multiple home buyers in the program, but we also have multiple homes under construction at any given time. Right now, we have 8 houses under construction. 1 family is in the closing process, and we have 4 houses in the planning process. So we constantly have new construction and rehabs being built at all times by our volunteers and our staff. And so we don't have a waiting list or anything like that. People often ask the waiting list question. That's not a thing at Habitat Newburgh. We basically are always building, and we're always bringing families into the program. So it is an ongoing process. Did you want to add anything to that, Mel?
Yes, definitely. It is an ongoing process, and we are actively looking for families to fit within the parameters of the homes that we have available, and that are either under construction. Also, our homes are in different levels of construction as well, which is great because, you know, as our home buyers go through the program, they have a selection of where they want to volunteer, you know, to help build the homes. And sometimes it's fun because, you know, we could be in the starting process of rehabbing a house, and, you know, they're digging down at the foundation, and then, you know, another weekend, the home buyer could be at a house where they're putting, you know, they're actually putting up walls. So it's really an amazing thing for the families, because they also get to work with our volunteers, our staff, and you really get an education on what it is to see a house going up from scratch or being rehabbed. And so you get an idea of what home you're going to get, and the value and the quality of the home that you're going to get.
Corey, did you want to speak a little bit about the opportunities that we have with our neighborhood associations and after purchase activities that our homeowners are engaged in?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because your responsibility as a homeowner doesn't stop when you get into a house, when you get your home, and because you're going to live there for forever, probably, hopefully, or 30 years at least. And you're going to have to basically learn how to get along with your neighbors. And the best way to get along with your neighbors is to look at the issues you guys as a neighborhood are facing. So we've been able to help people establish their own neighborhood associations based on that metric, them gauging what they need to have done in their neighborhoods, and they come together as a group. Politics, people always talk about, I don't want to be involved in politics, but politics is basically how people move as a group. No one understands that. And that also comes down to your neighborhood. If people are flying down your block and you have kids outside playing, kids can get hit by cars or speeding, or if people are dropping trash in your neighborhoods and not giving a, you know what, you have issues, and it starts to become an issue for the entire neighborhood. If people are on the neighborhood fighting, there's heavy drug use. So the best way to combat all these things is to come together as a group, a unit, homeowners or tenants, residents of a neighborhood. And so we were able to put together or help promote the creation of neighborhood associations. These neighborhood associations, what they do is they go in together with projects. That project, they were been able to actually so far we've been able to get neighborhood cleanups, speed strips, or been approved for speed strips, even though the city of Newburgh has not given them to these streets yet. But we've been approved for speed strips to help slow people down. We've had grants we've received from places like the United Way and the city of Newburgh to beautify the blocks. And we move as a group. We enable people to move as a group. So when you're in a situation as a brand new homeowner, it's the best way to navigate that journey, or the best way to move through that, is to be connected to your neighborhood. Get as connected as you can be. And the best way to do so is through neighborhood associations. Everybody comes together, for one common cause, whether it's a cleanup, whether it's a barbecue, whether it's us going to advocate for some law together at the city of Newburgh together. We move together. That's what it's about. It's about collective movement and collective power. Once you're on these blocks, we don't just say, hey, we leave you to your own devices. We want to help you foster a relationship with everybody in their surrounding areas, so you have the best living experience going forward after once you sign that paper and move into your home. So I encourage everybody out there, whoever, even if you're not going to be a Habitat homeowner, get with your neighbors, despite if they're owning or renting. You guys are tenants, and come up with a plan as a neighborhood association. I can help you guys do that. And that's what we do with our neighborhoods and our residents after they move into the homes. We help them get connected and stay connected to their neighborhoods and their neighbors, and stay connected with the community.
Thank you very much, Corey. Yeah, it's really important, and it's numbers. When you have numbers of people asking for making the same request, it's oftentimes harder to ignore folks and their needs and their wants in a neighborhood. So strength in numbers, as they say, and neighborhood associations are really important in moving forward some of the things that the residents in the city would like to have happen. So we've done things like street trees, trees and garbage cans and a number of things that have happened because of the neighborhood associations. And they're not just Habitat homeowners. It's a true neighborhood association where folks that rent and other homeowners that are not Habitat homeowners and Habitat homeowners come together, and they make a difference in their neighborhood. And it's really great to see and experience, and they do get things done, and it's really impressive.
Can I say something real quick, Amy, too? This may resonate with some people. If you've ever seen the movie Soul Food, the grandmother talks about how each finger on your hand, it has a little bit of strength to move things, and to do certain things independently. But when you put them together as a fist, it strikes a mighty blow. That's the whole point of neighborhood associations, and actually teaming up, squatting up together with people in your neighborhood with the same interest. You will strike a harder or heavier blow.
Absolutely. I'm still looking in the chat. Oh, so we have a question. If families that come to the program don't meet all the requirements, do you have a committee to help them make sure they reach those, that they can meet the requirements? Millie, I think you can speak on that.
As Eileen stated earlier, once she does all of the checking, and we do all of our checking, it's not all about the credit and the numbers. There's a lot that goes into it. If you don't quite meet the requirements, but you may be able to while you're working in the program, we do, we'll go to the next step. We also have volunteers that specifically work with our families to help them through the program, as well as myself. What we would do is we would create a action plan for you specifically, which would include sessions with possibly Eileen for financial counseling. There will be meetings with me to review and make sure that you're on track to increase what you're lacking in. It could be anything from budgeting to credit, and so that we make sure that you are ready for mortgage application. But we just don't want you to be ready for mortgage application alone. We want to prepare you for being a homeowner. And so we try to go just a little bit beyond just getting you ready for mortgage application so that you can get accepted. Your mortgage will be, approved, and you can close on your home. But we also want to make sure that you are also well-funded and well-prepared for you becoming that homeowner and being successful at being a homeowner.
I was going to chime in on this one too. The only criteria that we can't change is the income guidelines. So if you're over income for the program, then unfortunately you would not be able to purchase a home through Habitat, but there are other options out there. So don't think that you can't be assisted in other ways. The Newburgh Land Bank has homes that they will be selling, and their income guidelines are a bit higher. They're doing similar but different, so it will be a totally different situation with them. And then we also have some other programs, again, with some higher income guidelines that you may qualify for.
Thank you, Eileen.
Yeah, that's so true. So, Habitat serves families between 30 and 80% of the area media guidelines, but there are other programs. If you are over that 80%, there are other programs, and there are other grants that can help with closing costs and things like that. So please do reach out, especially if you see our guidelines and your income is too high. Don't think that there's no assistance out there for you. Definitely, again, call Pastone and Eileen and her Madeline, who work over at Pastone. They can assist you, and maybe if they can't help you, that they always know who can. So that's why we're here today. I think that is all the questions that we have here in the chat. So if anybody wants to throw any more in there, there is a question about having papers. So that is a super personal question, and they should reach out to Milagros personally for information about that, because the banks have requirements for if they will give you a mortgage, and we require you have the ability to get a mortgage. That isn't necessarily up to us, and that's not really something we could always answer right away. So you want to reach out with personal situations like that to Milagros, who can help you and steer you in the right directions with some of those issues.
I've put my information on the chat. So you can reach me by phone if you want to make an appointment with me to go over your application or you have some questions. I'll be happy to answer them. I also put my email address on the chat as well. So feel free, contact me and I will answer everything as truthfully and clear as I possibly can.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that it's very unfortunate that we weren't able to meet in person together today, but we are always available to assist with the application. And I just want everybody to know that Millie, Maggie, and Corey are available by appointment to assist with the applications in the coming weeks. All you need to do is give the office a call and you can make an appointment with one of them. They can go over the application with you. If you don't know what some of the items are, we have a checklist of documents that need to come in, and sometimes folks need help learning if they don't have those documents where they can get them. And Millie, Maggie, Corey, they can all assist with those questions and questions about the application itself and also the program. So again, if you need help with the application, if you're finding it, overwhelming to fill out, please don't hesitate to reach out and get that assistance that we have available to you. One of the main reasons why folks don't come into the program is that the application doesn't get filled out completely. And we want to make sure everyone is aware that we do have help and we do have resources for getting the documents if you don't have them already and you aren't sure of how to obtain them. Does anyone else have anything else they want to add?
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who, were patient and while we were getting the information out there to let you know that we weren't going to be in person, but on Facebook Live. And I look forward to hearing from every one of you who are out there. And, if you feel the program is not for you, but someone who it may work for, then by all means, please spread the word out there. Let them know that the Habitat is out there, that there are programs like us and Pathstone that can be assistance if you're looking to be a homeowner and you're tired of, the rent race and, the landlord issues. Thank you again.
Yes, I'd also like to say thanks, and thanks to Eileen and Corey and Millie and everyone out there and our volunteers that were answering questions in the chat. And Maggie was manning the chat as well to make sure everyone's questions about contact information were answered. Again, if you missed part of this presentation, don't worry. It will be available to watch at your leisure on Facebook, and it's also on our YouTube channel. So if you know anybody who could benefit from this information, and you can also see the slides and get any of the information off of those that you would like, you can go ahead and watch the video again at your leisure and share it if you'd like. And we so appreciate you attending today, and we look forward to hearing from you and giving you any assistance that we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.